Hey everyone, welcome back to AI News Daily, your go to source for everything happening in the world of artificial intelligence. I'm so glad you're here today because we've got a really interesting mix of stories: security transparency, fighting AI misuse, and a big leadership move at OpenAI. Let's dive right in. N8N pulls back the curtain on vulnerability disclosure. Workflow automation platform N8N published a detailed breakdown of how it handles security vulnerability disclosures, and more importantly, why it approaches the process the way it does. In a refreshingly candid blog post, the team explained their philosophy around responsible disclosure, coordinating with security researchers, and communicating transparently with users when flaws are found. This matters a lot in the AI tooling space, where automation platforms like N8N are increasingly embedded in business critical workflows. If a vulnerability goes unpatched or gets quietly swept under the rug, real companies get hurt. By publishing their process openly, N8N is setting a standard that other AI and automation tool developers would be smart to follow. Expect more scrutiny on security practices across the ecosystem as AI tools become infrastructure. OpenAI disrupts malicious AI use cases in February 2026. OpenAI dropped its latest threat intelligence report detailing how it disrupted a range of malicious operations leveraging its AI models throughout February 2026. The report identified bad actors using tools like ChatGPT for influence operations, phishing campaigns, malware development, and coordinated disinformation efforts. OpenAI says it terminated associated accounts and is working with external partners to share threat data and harden defenses. This is now a recurring monthly report from OpenAI, and that cadence itself tells you something. The volume of misuse attempts is significant enough to warrant regular public accountability. For everyday users and businesses, this is actually reassuring. It shows OpenAI isn't just building powerful tools and hoping for the best, they're actively policing the ecosystem. The arms race between AI safety teams and malicious actors is very much ongoing, and transparency like this keeps pressure on the entire industry. Arvind Casey steps in as OpenAI's Chief People Officer. OpenAI announced the appointment of Arvind Casey as its new Chief People Officer, a role that will oversee talent acquisition, employee experience, and organizational culture at one of the most closely watched companies on the planet. This hire comes at a pivotal moment. OpenAI has been navigating rapid headcount growth, high profile departures, and intense public scrutiny over its internal culture and governance. Bringing in a dedicated CPO signals that leadership recognizes people operations can no longer be treated as a secondary concern. As OpenAI pushes toward AGI and scales its commercial products, retaining top AI researchers and building a cohesive culture will be just as important as any technical breakthrough. Arvind KC steps into a challenging but enormously consequential role. How OpenAI manages its people in the next few years could shape whether it stays at the frontier or stumbles under the weight of its own ambitions. Pull back and look at today's three stories together, and a clear theme emerges. The AI industry is entering a maturity phase. N8N is formalizing security practices, OpenAI is publicly fighting misuse, and the same company is investing in its human infrastructure. These aren't flashy product launches, they're the unglamorous but essential work of building institutions that can actually be trusted with transformative technology. The next chapter of AI isn't just about capability, it's about accountability. If you found today's breakdown valuable, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an episode. Drop a comment below. Which story surprised you most today? We read every single one. See you tomorrow.